There are several property scams and property frauds in Lagos, from individuals or companies selling a property that they don't have a right to sell, or people selling land that belongs to the government. But based on our research and our experience, the most common property fraud and property scam, particularly in the Ibeju-Lekki axis of Lagos, is people misrepresenting the title of a land. And in this episode and video of Meet the Property Guy, what we'll be looking at comprehensively is how the title of a land can be misrepresented, particularly in the Ibeju-Lekki axis of Lagos. Now, in case you are coming across a video like this for the first time, this is Meet the Property Guy Property channel, and this is where we discuss everything real estate for first-time investors, avid investors, people who are investing already, people who are yet to invest but want to study and learn about the market before they start putting in their funds. This is your go-to channel. We share tips, guides, and advice here about everything you need to know about the market, about the real estate market. Return on investment, risk assessment, locations, everything basically, from short lets to land banking, buy and flip, real estate cashback, real estate investment trust fund, buy, build, and sell. This is your go-to channel for everything you really need to know about the real estate market and the real estate opportunities here in Nigeria. So after watching this particular educative guide, I will also suggest you go to our different playlists. We have a playlist on property frauds, we have a playlist on land documents, we have a playlist on real estate companies, we have a playlist on short let, on Ekpe, on Ibeju-Lekki. You are definitely going to learn a lot from these videos, from this playlist. So let's go into the topic, the most common fraud in the Ibeju-Lekki axis of Lagos. Before you go fully into the video, if you have not subscribed yet to our videos, if this is your second video, this is your third video, this is your fifth video of our different topics that you have covered, that you are watching, and you have not subscribed yet, kindly do subscribe. We really want you to subscribe. If you have been thinking of different ways for you to support our channel, one of the ways you can support us is to subscribe to our videos, to subscribe to our channel, and also to turn on the notification button. Now, few days ago, I did a video on this channel talking about how the government acquire land and also how the government release land. In the video, I shared a diagram talking about how the government use different markings and mappings to identify a land that they have acquired for a specific purpose, like for a community school, for a healthcare center, as well as how the government also use boundaries, beacons, and different acquisition number, gazette number to identify lands that have released to different communities. Now, we are going to be going further on that same diagram to now show how individuals, how companies, how organizations can misrepresent the title of a land just to fraud innocent investors. So we have another diagram here on our screen, which is like just an updated version of the previous diagram that we talked about in the previous video, where we discussed how the government acquire or release land. Now, for any of our viewers that have not watched our previous video on how the government acquire land or release land, kindly check the description box. I'm going to be sharing a link in the description box that will be taking you back to that video, and you can also watch that video and learn from it, because this video is just like a part 2 of that particular video. Right, now going back to this diagram, now we still have our village A acquisition with an acquisition number LSD/EXC/ blah blah blah. We also have our village B with an acquisition also LSD/EXC/ blah 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 blah. And we also have our village C that has a gazetted acquisition, not just an approved acquisition this time around, but a gazetted acquisition. Then we have different land that the government have acquired in this location for a community school and also for a health center. These are committed acquisition because nobody should go there to build anything. It's going to be demolished. So now let's look at how different properties can be misrepresented when it comes to their titles. So we'll be starting from this village C. Now, the diagram that I have here that is painted red, this diagram represents a land, a parcel of land. This parcel of land can be 2 acres, can be 2 plots, can be 10 plots, can be whatever plot size. Now, in this particular land, you can see that this land fall into 2 areas. There is an unshaded area and there is a shaded area. Now, the unshaded area falls inside the gazette, which is the gazette of village C, while the shaded area, the unshaded area is the gazette, the shaded area falls into the village B excision. Now, when people want to sell this land, they're going to tell you that this land has a gazette, but the truth is only part of this land that falls into the gazette, while the other part falls into the excision. This is very common. There are a lot of land where you are going to see the flyer and see the title there, gazette, but by the time your surveyor go there, search the land, is either the gazette is just an excision, it has not even been gazetted at all, or it's only few plots in the entire area or in the entire estate that falls into the gazette, while the bulk of the entire estate or the bulk of the entire community fall into an excision. Even sometimes the bulk of the entire community will fall into an excision in view, not even an approved excision. So that's why you guys should not bother sending me flyers. Don't even bother sending me survey plans and asking me if this land has this or has that. It's not my job. The person you should be communicating with when you want to verify a land is a surveyor. I've said this several times, yet countless times people still come to my DM and ask me, this land, they said it has this, they say it has that. There is nothing I can do to it. I'm not an oracle. Just looking at the flyer, I can't know if the land is genuine or not. It's until a surveyor goes there, search the land and check the land in the master plan that we can come up with a report like this. If the entire land falls into an excision, if the entire land falls into a gazette, or is only partly a gazette, the other part an excision. Right, now let's continue. Now we have another land here. I've also put a red indicator there so that you are going to know the land that we are talking about. Now, the unshaded part of this land falls into the village B excision, the unshaded part, while the shaded part falls outside the excision. What this means is that the part of this land that is shaded does not have any title. Does not have any title, which means that for anybody that buys this land, the part that is shaded, you have to apply for ratification and get government allocation on that land. While people that have the unshaded part, that white part that is not shaded, those ones, they have excision on it and they can wait for the government to gazette it, or they can also do the same and regularize and get CFO on that land. Alright, now let's take it quick. So still on village B excision, we have another land. So this land also, the unshaded part by the right hand side falls within the village excision, while the shaded part at the left also falls outside the excision, which means that there is no title on that part. And if you remember what I mentioned in my previous video, you see this land that is at the middle of these two excisions is called a passage. The government intentionally leaves that land there. They are smart. They intentionally leave that passage there in between. But Omonile will sell it as their own land because they feel like it's still part of their community, but it's not part of their community because the government does not grant them an excision to that axis or to that point. So for this part that is shaded also, the same thing, you have to apply for government allocation. Now, most of my warnings and most of my guides are not to tell you not to buy a particular property or not to buy from a particular company. What I've realized is that a lot of investors buy this property or these properties with the assumption that these properties are safe and they don't have to do anything again. So if I tell you that, oh, Exhibition property is like this, reserved properties is like this, freehold properties is like this. It's not to tell you not to buy. You can buy an exhibition land, you can buy a freehold land, you can buy a land that does not have any title at all, as long as you know what you are going to do next. It's your money. I've said this before. I can't tell you what to do with your money. It's your money, it's your funds. So as long as you have looked at it that, okay, I have 10 million, this property is 2 million, if I buy it with 2 million, I still have 8 million I can use to possess the title or document on it. But unfortunately, a lot of you guys that are buying land of 600,000, 800,000, 1 million, 1.2, that's all your funds. So you guys does not even have another 2 million or another 3 million that you are going to spend extra to do documents on that land. So that's where the trouble is. If you have the funds, you have the capital, and you have the technical know-how, it's not a problem. You can go to Ibeju-Lekki, buy 20 acres, buy 30 acres, and do a title on it. The return on investment will be massive. But by the time you do a title on it, the value of the property will go around 200%, 300% higher. So it's just for you to know what to do next once you are acquiring all these properties. So my warnings or my guides is not to give you fear, to scare you. No. I'm not here to scare you. I'm just here to enlighten you about what you are buying, what you are going into, and understanding the risk attached to what you are going into, basically. All right, so let's go to the scary part. Now we have this land that the community or a company want to sell. Now this land, where I shaded red, we have the shaded part that falls into a community school acquisition. Then we have a narrow unshaded part that falls into the community acquisition. So what this means is that this land that they want to sell, that is maybe 10 acres or 20 acres, around 70% of the land falls into the part that the government have acquired to build a school, and someone is selling it and someone is buying it. So that's why I laugh at times when you guys just send me some flyers, visit land for 2 million, I'll just be laughing. Acquisition land for 1.5 or 1 million, I'll just be laughing, because I already have idea of what they want to sell to you. Basically, you guys don't listen. So that's just the annoying part. All right, so what this means is that anybody that buys this land, 70% of his or her land is going, because you are buying a committed land, a land that the government will never release, because that land, they have already acquired it for a clear purpose, which is to build a school. But these people that want to sell it now, they are going to sell this land under the disguise of acquisition, whereas the entire part of the land that falls inside acquisition is less than 30%. You can see the sample here. And again, when I send you some people the contact of my surveyor, they will not want to pay. You want to buy a land of 5 million and just to spend 50k just to know what you want to spend your 5 million on, you are being reluctant. Sometimes I just don't understand investors, really. I just don't understand. All right, so let's go to another part. So here we also have, where I marked red, we have the unshaded part and we have the shaded part. So the unshaded part, which is the white side, falls into the village acquisition, while the shaded part falls outside the acquisition. So which means if you buy this land, you have to apply for government ratification and government allocation for that shaded part, that front. And funnily, that front might face the express. So that's why I laugh at times. People will tell me, oh, I want the land that faces the express, that is free. It's possible for you to get the land that is facing the express that is free in some locations, but most times the government acquire most of the land that faces the express. Not like they want to use that land for any purpose, but they just put an acquisition there so that anybody that buy it, whatever document that you want to do on it, they are going to charge you more. It's just as simple as that. For this one now, the government might not use that land for anything, but by the time you want to do building approval, by the time you want to do CFO, that's when you are going to realize that your land is 50% acquisition, 50% acquisition. And you have to pay the government for whatever fee they want to charge you, because you have to buy that land again from the government. As simple as that. It's only the part that is under that white area that is unshaded that you are free from the government, but that part that is shaded, you pay the government any amount they charge you for that land, because they believe that that land is their land, basically. All right, so That's all. That's all basically for how different land titles can be misrepresented. A land that is only maybe 20% or 10% that fall into a gazette, then the company go there and start advertising it that our title is gazette, our title is gazette. Whereas when you look at the entire 20 acres or the entire 10 acres they have there, maybe it's only 5 plots or 7 plots that is covered with the gazette, while the entire 30 plot or 40 plot is only covered by excision. The company will come, they will tell you that we have approved excision, we have approved excision. By the time you check it, you realize that out of their entire 10 acres, maybe it's only 1 acre or 2 acre that falls inside the approved excision, while the other part of it falls outside the excision. Maybe it's excision in view or excision in process. Whereas people go there, they buy 2 acres, they buy 1 acre, and they feel like they have bought a land, and they collect survey and they go and sleep. Whereas they don't know that after they have purchased this land, there are still so many other things that have to do with the government to ensure that the government release this land to them. Like I mentioned before, our guides, our advices are not to scare you. We are not trying to scare you here. We are not trying to tell you that don't buy this. We are not trying to tell you don't buy that. We are just trying to enlighten you and educate you so that you know that this land that you are buying after you have bought from the company, these and these are what you are going to do with the government. After you have bought from the family, these and these are what you are going to do with the government. After you have bought from the community, these and these are what you are seeking to pay to the government. That's just basically what we are doing here. So all these comments that I usually receive, you said we did not buy that, you said you did not buy, how would I tell you not to buy something? Is it my money? It's your money now. You can buy anything you like with your money. So our guide basically is just to tell you that if you are buying this with your money, you are still going to spend this so more amount extra. If you are buying that with your money, these are the risks attached to it. That's just it basically. And that's why I showed it to you in a diagram so you can understand what a surveyor is actually doing and what a surveyor is actually charging you for. Because I've seen people, a lot of my contacts, get back to me after I've recommend or refer them to a surveyor. The surveyor is overcharging me, sending me, is going to collect so amount. They are trying to save you, basically. They are trying to save you. And these are people these are licensed surveyor. They have a license that can be revoked, a license that can be tracked. So a surveyor job is not just one job that someone can just open office and he's a surveyor. They are trained, they have a license, and they pay for that license. Because that license is renewable. Just like as we have MBA, we also have a Federal Association of Surveyors too. Use a licensed surveyor. But sometimes because you guys want to cut corners, you don't want to pay a licensed surveyor, you can't get just one roadside surveyor and tell them to check the land for you. Because the report of their search have a big impact on your investment. Just imagine you are investing 50 million on the land, and a surveyor gave you a wrong report. That's 50 million gone into the drain. You guys don't even know how important this is. So please, when you get a licensed surveyor, whoever recommend it for you, as long as you realize that this person is a licensed surveyor, please have them in your team. Pay them well. Let them do all the search they have to do on that land for you, so they can tell you after you have bought the land, this and these are what you are going to do, and these are the likely cost of what you are going to do, basically. So for most of the land in Ibeju-Lekki, some people have bought land 3 years ago around Ishe, Folu Ishe, 600k, 700k, buy 6 get 1 free. So bought 2 acres and collect 2 plots. They don't have a land. They don't know. They don't have a land. But all those land is going. The government will collect it back. It's going. There's not, see, and you can't sue the companies. But the company will tell you that they sold the land to you and they have allocated the land to you and give you documents. The main thing is between you and the government. So the government collect it back. It's not their fault because you are the one that did not pay the government. As simple as that, basically. Because they not tell you that the land has your phone, they're selling it to you now. Abi? So these are just the very important checks you have to do, the very important investigations you have to do. Land is about paper. Land is about documents. So that's why you also have to place a lot of importance to the companies you are buying from. Check their reputation, check their assets, check their past projects, so that you know that, okay, even if I buy this land, if anything happen, can this company refund? Can this company compensate? Can this company still protect investors? All these things are very, very important. Very, 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 very. So if you have further questions about this, further questions about the land that you want to buy, further questions about a land that you have bought already, like I said before, I'm not the one that will do these checks to you. I have a surveyor. I can recommend him to you. If you don't use my surveyor, go and find any surveyor. Use that surveyor. Is up to you. Just ensure that you are doing these checks and you know what you are buying. Basically, for most of the land that I sell personally, that I sell in my portfolio, those with gazette, those with acquisition, those with freehold, I do these checks. This check that you are seeing in this diagram, I do it so that I know what is on that land. So when I'm selling to an investor, I already know what I'm selling to you. I already tell you, sir, this land is agric. When you buy this and this and this is what you are going to do. This land is forestry. When you buy this and this and this is what you are going to do. This land is residential freehold. When you buy this and this are what. So I would have already gone ahead and do these checks even before I sell. But for a land that I don't sell, it's not my responsibility. Talk to the surveyor. Basically, just as simple as that. So if you have further questions, you can drop a comment. You can let us know what you don't understand, what you need us to explain further on. We can share from our experience what you can do, who you can talk to, and how we can be of help to you. Now, it's been a fantastic 2022 with you guys. Recorded a lot of videos, got a lot of comments, got a lot of views, got a lot of referrals, got a lot of sales from you guys. So I appreciate you guys a lot. I have avid commenters that always comment on my videos. I people that they don't miss any of my videos. We appreciate you guys a lot. We appreciate you guys a lot. I really look forward to having another fantastic and fabulous 2023 with you guys. If you have learned from this video, don't forget to give us a thumb like. We appreciate that. It's also part of the engagement that we also boost our videos to get more views, to get to more people, because these guides and these advices have to go around. Just imagine how many people don't know this. How many millions of investors, thousands of investors have been investing for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years that don't know this. So it's important that this go around so people can know actually what they are putting their money into. So don't forget to give us thumb like, and if you have not subscribed to our videos yet, there's another fantastic opportunity for you to subscribe and don't miss any of our videos. I still remain the number one property on the planet, your property advisor, property consultant, Rabi Mustafa. Thanks for watching our videos. See you next time.